everybody, Katie Catter here, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be drawing Mothman, a cryptid, and yeah, I love Mothman, but yeah, so some people who I've described Mothman to, who've seen this, don't know what cryptids are, mainly being my parents, so I guess I'll just be like, hey, you know what cryptids are? Cryptids are, I don't know the proper definition or if there is one, but to me what comes to mind when you think of cryptid, the connotation, if you will, is, just general, like, not urban legends, because that would be, like, more creepypasta-esque stuff, more, like, monstery things that are not, like, in the BC era, basically. I don't know. I think of, like, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, stuff like that, and, I don't know, maybe from, like, other cultures and religions and stuff, maybe, but whatever. Anyway, Mothman's cool. Mothman's a cryptid from Point Pleasant. I forget what state that is. I want to say Pennsylvania, but I don't think it's Pennsylvania. But Point Pleasant, which is what the sign says, and 1966 is when Mothman was first spotted, allegedly. So that's why it says 1966. But, yeah, so what is Mothman? I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably already know what Mothman is. He's become pretty big on the internet, particularly Tumblr, for some reason, or maybe I'm just following a person who's obsessed with Mothman. You know who you are, but, I don't know. I've always liked Mothman, mainly because I watch two spooky YouTubers who talked about Mothman, on a podcast, and those were Kaylee Elise and Rob Dyke on the Seriously Strange podcast, which they don't even do anymore. I'm sad about that, but it's kind of a year old, but it's still great. I'll put a link in the description. I'd recommend you listen to it. But first, I'd watch the Kaylee Elise video on Mothman, and also, like, there's also Goatman in that same video, but anyway, Mothman's cool. The basic gist with Mothman is that, it was the 60s, people were crazy, but, this couple decided to be like, hey, let's hang out at, like, an old dynamite factory, because that's what people do, and then they saw this Mothman, and they were like, oh no, so they got freaked out, and then for the rest of the night, in the coming nights, the Mothman kind of, like, freaked people out. One person said that it killed his dog, and then it collapsed a bridge and was never seen again. So that's the story of Mothman, and the town has, like, made it into such, like, a profitable thing, because they're like it's pretty big over there. They got a Mothman statue, which isn't really the most attractive looking statue, if we're being honest with ourselves. It kind of looks like a superhero, not gonna lie, but it's cool. Personally, I like the more creepy looking Mothman and less of the superhero Mothman that the town decides to make a sign out of. So that's kind of what I went for with this picture. I wanted to have it like a cute Mothman, but I also wanted it to be creepy, because that's kind of what Mothman is. Mothman's kind of creepy. Not as creepy as the other cryptids that I'm going to draw, because I'm going to draw more cryptids, because I really like cryptids. And next on my list is the Chupacabra, and then Jersey Devil, probably, because I really love Jersey Devil. Like, that's one of my favorites. And then maybe the Wendigo. Maybe. We'll see. Probably. But, whatever. Those are the four that are on my list. But, if you know any other cryptids, your favorites, comment down below with your favorite cryptid. So yeah. But yeah, I really like cryptids. I only pretty much hear about them from Kaylee Elise, though, because I love her videos, and I love listening to scary things. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That's what I was listening to, actually, when I was drawing this, was the Seriously Strange podcast, and I've listened to that so many times. Like, that was probably my 5th or 6th time listening to the dang thing, and it always freaks me out, because the podcast talks about more of, like, what Mothman probably was, while Kaylee Elise's video talks about what people think it was and, like, the legend of it. So, again, watch the video first and then listen to the podcast if you're really interested. But there's this one segment in the podcast where they're talking about thought forms and, like, topas, I think they called it. And that part always freaks me out because of the polar bear. If you listen to it, you'll get it, but the polar bear always freaks me out, because it's just, like, the thought of it staring at you in the dark, like on the edge of your bed, and I'm like, that's not okay. And also the fact that they kill you in their mind. But yeah, definitely listen to that. It's one of the few audio creepy things I listened to that really freaked me out. Some other ones that freaked me out were some Let's Read channel talking about some, like, Japanese horror, urban legend, scary things in there. And there was this one that I forgot what it was called, but it's like some white thing that you see, and then once you see it, you like go crazy. And you can't stop laughing basically, and that part that just freaks me out. I think that things that freak me out are like the loss of control, which was again with the thought form thing. But we're coming to the end of the video. Hooray! So here's the finished product, and right there. So yeah, and I specifically designed this to like throw it on a t-shirt, so like check out Redbubble if you want, but whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching, like, comment, all that jazz, you know what the people say, and goodbye. We finally made it. I finally made it through a video without mentioning that I didn't know what to talk about. I actually kind of ran out of things to talk about. It's a miracle. Wow. I guess that doesn't really count now that I just talked about not knowing what to